Welcome to a very special edition of the Michael Sisco Show. Today we're going to be giving out awards to celebrate the great work of advancing the progressive and Skittles agenda at Ancient Faith Radio. And so now you see, I used to be full of hate. But then I started listening to Ancient Faith Radio, and robotic. No, I'm roboting. Hang on, let me bring in Celestia. Why has it got a robot? The best. How's the audio now? Is it still good? But anyways, let's bring in Celestia Nader. Her is going to help us present awards. But anyways, I was saying, I started listening to Ancient Faith Radio. I took the vaccine, and now I am no longer full of hate. I'm actually a righteous Fortamite now. So welcome to the show, Celestia Nader. We're gonna celebrate Ancient Faith Radio tonight.
That's so great. You know, I was really worried about you for a while. I thought you were never going to change and really see kind of how we can queer these spaces. But I'm glad you've had a change of heart, Michael. And it's okay. We can be besties again. So, you know, I appreciate that you've grown and matured and that you have the humility to admit that. And, it takes a lot of courage and strength. So I want to give you an award too for becoming a stronger and less toxic man. If you identify as a man,
I do. I'm just an ally. So
just an ally. That's one of the A's.
I support women. You know, I went back and I reread Father Andrew Stephen Damick's book, and now I'm a changed man. I have experienced true repentance.
I'm so glad. It takes a lot out of oneself to be vulnerable in that space. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, but anyways, we're gonna give out awards. We've been diving into Ancient Faith Radio and kind of digging into their content creators, their contributors, their donors, and we really appreciate the work that they've done in advancing, everything that they've been advancing. So let's start with so what we're going to do, I'm going to basically announce the awards that we went over before, and then you're going to kind of just give the background on why this person deserves the award that they're getting. So Ray says, we're going to show this to your bishop. I'm pretty sure my bishop's watching. So JW says, this is disgusting. Well, you're a bigot, JW. You're a bigot.
It's 2021, okay?
What planet?
Please, guys. This is Earth, and it's we need to think a lot about Earth and climate justice. So I'm glad you're noticing that we live on a planet. Thank you.
It's true. So our first award goes to a lady named Charlotte Riggle. The first winner for the night, and basically this award is for promoting homosexuality among children.
Yes.
So why don't let's give us the scoop on Miss Charlotte Riggle.
Yeah, so she is a gold level sponsor for 2021 of the Multicultural Children's Book Day, which is a really great organization. They're very important, promoting all kinds of diversity and LGBTQIAPP2S plus books for children. And they have a lot of great things on their website. They have a lot of lists of great resources and books for not only gender and sexual minority children, but also things like white privilege for kids, critical conversations, anti-racist books, how to talk about celebrating Juneteenth and microaggressions. So I think the work they're doing there is just really fantastic. And I'm glad that Charlotte Riggle, as an Orthodox woman, is supporting a great organization like that. It's really moving the church forward, I think. So yes, congratulations, Charlotte.
That's great. Do you have any examples of Charlotte's books? Where can people find Charlotte's book?
She has a website.
Are you gonna share your screen? Here, share
well,
screen.
I could, yes.
We need some nice vibing music in the background here.
Oh yeah, let's see.
I'm gonna show this to my boomer husband. That's not very nice of you to use labels like that, Alexandria. Okay, we love our boomers.
Boomers are great.
Boomers are a big reason why we've we were able to get to this point of progressed society.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, here we go.
You can approve.
Let's do this. Don J says labelist, LMAO. There's nothing funny about that. Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear the audio? Did I share the audio? Hold on. Try this again.
It's on the bottom left. You gotta hit the.
Yeah. Share audio. Okay. Now I don't want this to cause any sort of echo, so if it does, just let me know.
Okay.
Other participants will hear themselves. Okay, I don't like that. I'm not going to worry about the audio, I think. Okay, but here's Charlotte Riggle. And
what a beautiful woman.
Yes. She has religious books mostly. I don't know if there's anything terribly progressive about them, but she is a progressive woman, so maybe she just slipped in some things. We don't know. One can hope, but I can't say for sure. But you can see some of these diversity book lists they have here. Great books. These are not written by her, but this is just the organization she supports. Really high quality stuff on being anti-racist. Can I touch your hair? Oh, mistakes made. Yeah, you cannot. That's the answer. Yeah, just all sorts of really great LGBTQIA plus books. Yeah.
This is great. The only thing better would be like, I don't know, having a drag queen. We read it to our children.
A great one, A Church for All by Gail Pittman. Yeah. I don't think this is an Orthodox book, but probably one of our Protestant brothers and sisters, maybe Episcopal, maybe I don't know, Unitarian Universalist or some really cool denomination like that.
We got Gabriel in the house.
I think
I have on good authority that she's a bigot. I have on good authority that she's a bigot.
Okay, well, you know what? We can all change, sweetie. So there's always a new day tomorrow. Just wake up and put on a different hat that's like less problematic would be a good start, I think.
All right. So our next award, the next award, I think we got enough of Charlotte Riggle, but maybe let's see, Charlotte. What's that URL address? Just one more time for our audience so that they can go.
This is the Multicultural Children's Book Day, and that's actually the URL, multiculturalchildrensbookday.com. It's a bit of a mouthful, but hey, that's where you can find it. She's a 2021 sponsor, as you can see here. Gold levels, no, a silver sponsor. My bad. But it is a gold picture, so maybe they should change their graphics. But
Alexandra says, take the stream down as soon as it's over.
What's the problem, Alexandra?
No, it's not coming down. And no, YouTube's not going to delete it because we're celebrating LGBT.
What are you talking about?
Celebrating.
I don't know what the problem is, guys. Like, are you guys some kind of like far right trolls or something?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what kind of show this is usually, but I was told that this was going to be a progressive space. So, I'm trying to hold space for my own trauma and healing here. So I'd appreciate if you were understanding.
Faye says, "Hey, look, Faye is actually becoming private."
They, them.
Hey,
it's actually
hey,
she,
them.
her. I'm in fact a cis woman. Yeah, I am not. I'm not a they. Thank you, but I appreciate you taking the time to respect pronouns. Anyways, maybe someone else wants to identify that way. I was
All
born a
right.
woman, and I'm proud to be a woman. It's great.
And so our next award goes to Mariam Youssef. It's the Social Justice Warrior Award. Why don't you tell us about Mariam? Maybe show us. Do you have anything
Uh,
for Mariam pulled up? And she's, I think,
uh,
a Coptic Orthodox. So of course we think that it's great that Ancient Faith Radio would host people from other religions.
yes, she is, and let me just see if I can get this. Just go in there. Can you just okay? Where am I? Okay. I'm rather confused. I have too many windows open. Let's see. Where is okay? Here we go. Sorry about that. Here is the directory. She is a very cool woman. She is a gender studies lecturer and has a gender studies major. And I think she's very progressive. She's talked about things like microaggressions and on Ancient Faith Radio, and that's really important. I think it's important that more people talk about microaggressions so that we don't want to go into macroaggressions. That would be a big no-no. So yeah, she does great work promoting critical theory and gender issues.
Hey, we
Ray
love Go Arch here, don't we? We love Go Arch.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm we have a lot of connections there. But
And so what for those who may not know, what is a microaggression?
a microaggression is like it's like a macroaggression, but it's smaller. It's just a little one. Like for example, asking a black person if you could a person of color if you could touch their hair could be considered a microaggression because maybe they don't feel comfortable with you as a colonialist appropriating their hair by touching it. So there's other things like maybe saying "you people," which might just refer to a group of people, but it might also be like "you people," like referring to an ethnic minority in a derogatory kind of sense. Maybe you like hold the door open for a woman, and like you didn't ask for her consent to hold the door open. And she might feel like you're trying to take power away from her and invade her space by holding that door open. And you might think that you're being nice, but you could actually be being a bigot and you don't even know it. So it's just always good to ask for consent before holding the doors, and just don't touch people's hair like ever. Okay.
Is this the Orthodoxy and Dialogue stream? Hey, look, we love Orthodoxy and Dialogue. Giacomo
Yeah.
Sanfilippo is my personal hero. Okay.
He is a very he's doing important work, I think. Very important work.
In fact, he should replace that disgusting Abbot Trifon on Ancient Faith Radio. And don't you dare go to store.vationmonks.com to buy coffee, because if you do that, you're definitely a bigot. Okay.
Oh yeah. He just got a little too political, and I wanted to bring up this content disclaimer over at Ancient Faith Ministries that they say that they present their content with the understanding that viewpoints vary on how to apply Orthodox theology in today's world. I would definitely agree with that. We understand you will eventually hear or read something on our platform which you may or may not agree. Like there's maybe some microaggressions in there. They strive to only present material that is in line with the teachings of the Orthodox Church, but we do not necessarily endorse all the content. So that's just sort of a get out of jail free card kind of thing, I mean, it's good. You never know. We select the writers and speakers who provide content with extreme care. Therefore, we neither censor. There's no censoring going on. Just to clarify, nothing No one has been asked to leave, except for some people, or give an imprimatur to their work on our behalf. Our goal is to provide a forum for responsible and respectful discussion that furthers our mission to educate, edify, and evangelize. I think dialogue, like let's have some more dialogues. Every time the word dialogue is used, it means good things are happening. So let's do more of that. Okay.
And when we say dialogue, what do we actually mean?
Dialogue is a way to open up the door to new possibilities, such as reinterpreting our understandings, maybe that are a bit patriarchal of gender and sexual minorities, how those can be fully more implemented into the life of the church, and I think that's very important. And we can't really be understated how important the dialogue is. It has to be respectful dialogue. Everyone has to be very respectful. But with the end goal of course, understanding that this is just the way of the future, and you have to get with the times. And I would say it would be a real shame if governments or certain foundations wanted to, have to shut people down. I mean, if the church can't change, sometimes there's nowhere left for governments to do. They have to take a stand against hate speech, and so they might just have to shut people down, and nobody wants to see that happen. But I'm just saying, it's not a veiled threat, but it's kind of possibly, it's we have to obey the rules. That's our job, right?
Yeah, and by the way, Entropy is up if you'd like to contribute to our progressive cause. If you love gays and women's rights and all of that, please send an Entropy chat. The link is in the description. So thank you.
And I just want
Do
to
we
add to that the two spirits too. That's really, it's not just about gays. Okay, there's a lot more letters than that. So just think before you speak next time, Michael. Thank you.
I'll try. Hey, anything more on Miriam? Any other interesting details on our Social Justice Award winner?
I really don't know that much more. I heard that she did a podcast on microaggressions, and I thought, well, that's deserving of an award, right? Yeah, I can't say I've actually ever listened to anything because I already know what she thinks, and I think it's totally radical and cool. So I love it. Yeah, just love it.
All right. Now the next two amazing women they're so great that we couldn't just pick one because they've both done fantastic work, and a big part of they're a big reason why I'm a changed man. Big reason why I took the vaccine and I'm no longer part of a hate group, and I don't peddle hate on the internet anymore because of these two women. Especially one of them wrote an article on me, and well, I've seen the light. I've totally seen the light. And so these two women is Hannah Gase and Sarah Riccardi Swartz. They both win the award for stunning and brave journalistic work. So why don't you tell us about these two women that have been so impactful on my life?
Well, Hannah is a freelance writer, graduate program at Harvard Divinity. She focused on the intersection, love that word, of nationalism, extremism, and Russian Orthodox identity. Wow, what a coincidence. Yeah, she's written this one article at least, and it's really good. I mean, it talks all about how basically there's a lot of Holocaust deniers and all these far-right people who are just doing what the Kremlin wants, what Vladimir Putin wants, which is basically really, really bad if you don't know. Just a lot of conspiracy theories and like far right extremism and maybe domestic terrorism and just a lot of bad things really. And David Duke was cool. I think he's David Duke. I think he might be a Democrat actually, but oh well. you know, win some, you lose some. Yeah. Now Sarah, she does some really great podcasts and stuff too. And I just was watching this one the other day. That all about the far right and just how these young guys get into orthodoxy and they think this is just like an outlet for their hate basically, and they're just kind of there to spread hateful ideas, such as like participating in monastic life sometimes, or just going to church and having opinions that she doesn't like. They're all pretty far right, definitely.
Now, I actually, just if I can add my 2 cents here, I think that she's pretty genius, honestly, to especially when you consider the kind of schism between the virtuous church, Go Arch, and the Greek
Hmm.
Archdiocese, the Ecumenical Patriarch in Moscow. I think it's actually quite genius if you think about what she's doing there. Could you kind of go into that a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity while there's this sort of split to maybe just kind of drive a deep wedge between things, and really call out the Russians, who we all know interfered in the 2016 election. There was a lot of election insecurity in 2016, which was fixed, very much fixed, thankfully. And Yeah, the just to expose the Russian Orthodox Church as kind of a far right political movement under Vladimir Putin, and maybe just like get rid of it, I think is kind of what she's trying to bring to the church, which I think is really good for like unity and um, really just encouraging people to support the church, but also maybe maybe just take control of certain parts of it that are a little problematic. Maybe they don't have enough. They don't have the right kind of government funding yet, and like that can be fixed. You just have to get the right um, actors involved to sort of stitch things up. Fix it. So she she has a BA and an MA in religious studies, so you could say she's pretty much an expert. Very academic, very intellectual. Um, NYU, yeah. Oh, she has a graduate certificate in ethnographic filmmaking. I don't know what that is, but that sounds super cool. Um, her research interests primarily focus on new forms of conservatism. That's kind of like alt-right stuff, I think, and right-wing religious communities. Well, yeah, we know a few of those, right? Fundamentalism, traditionalism, and the ever-expanding political tensions between Russia and the United States. So, she definitely doesn't have any kind of agenda or anything. She's just a very honest journalist working for the truth.
um, so what could potentially happen to I don't know, some of these right wingers that attend ROCOR, for instance?
Well, I think maybe they could just be put like on a list or something. And there's a lot of talk about ways that, for example, around the Fauci ouchie, how there's ways that maybe certain people who are refusing to take certain things could be like denied access in certain areas of life. And I think maybe um, branding people as political dissidents and denying them, certain access to jobs or housing or, various employment, welfare, whatever you want, maybe just going to the store could be like a problematic thing. That would be like a good start to maybe like tamping down some of this extremism and just showing them that, they don't have to be that way. Like they can be re-educated, they can learn to express themselves in different ways that are more healthy. Like enjoy the Late Show with Jimmy Kimmel. That would be a start. Like there's a lot of good education there.
Tell
So
you what, I can't wait for her book to come out. It's going to be great.
absolutely, I'm gonna read it like 3 times, maybe like 4. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't
Take some
wait.
notes.
But we're just getting started, guys. So but I think this next award is really personal for me. I particularly, like I said, I just reread his books, and that's why I have a pink pussy hat on my head now. Father Andrew Stephen Damick, we're going to give him an award for excellence in public relations.
Oh yes,
Why don't you
very much.
comment on how well he just has handled everything with Ancient
I
Faith
think,
Radio?
yeah, I think he was right to go on Facebook and tell people that they were just kind of conspiracy theorists. I think that's a pretty effective way to communicate the validity of your position. He was very sort of, I would say, firm and kind of dismissive, which I like in a leader. He denied a lot of things that were obviously just not true, and but he didn't need to get into the weeds with like providing any sort of evidence. Really, he just sort of denied them, which is good. Um, so yeah, I think his communications really set a new standard for just sort of shutting people up, and that's what we need sometimes because there's a lot of problematic people on the internet. We don't all have time to you know just dialogue with incels all day, and so some of these far right guys, maybe they should just like take a hike. So I think we could all learn a lot from his communications skills and. Abbott Trifon was just getting a little too political, I think, and we all know that that's not the way for Ancient Faith Radio. There's no politics involved, and yeah, that's anyone providing examples of that is just problematic themselves because they're a conspiracy theorist. Yeah,
and don't you dare buy his coffee from store.vationmonks.com.
Yeah, don't
Just
do that.
don't do that. Don't get the soap either.
I've
Okay,
heard it's delicious, but you shouldn't support such things. But
you would just
you
be
know,
lathering in hate, okay? Lathering up in hate.
yes,
Lathering
yeah,
up in
it's
hate.
like organic and like paraben free, which would be really cool. But yeah, it's not
Yeah.
really cool what they think, and so we can't have that.
And you know what Father Andrew, what I really admire is his, using the 501c3 status as an explanation. It's just really
Yes,
admirable. Really admirable.
yeah, because nonprofits. This is a fun fact for people who don't know that much about government. Nonprofits never have anything to do with politics. They don't. They just they don't ever have any political influence or anything or any political opinions. So I think anyone who thinks that is just a little misguided, and well, we all have misunderstandings sometimes. So
Martial law says that my unbuttoned shirt is a microaggression. Don't judge me. Only God can judge me, okay? Only
yeah,
God can judge me.
tone it down, Mister Slightly Fashy name.
You're a microaggression.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
That's right. Bigots BTFO. Come on. Yeah,
This is a safe space, okay?
this is
Okay.
very safe.
Now here is now the next award. David. Well, first David says, "Are you guys vaxxed?" Of course, we're vaccinated.
Yes. Like triple. I actually got like 3 boosters. I got the Pfizer and the Moderna because I just wanted to be like double protected. So maybe the AstraZeneca. It sounds like it would be kind of cool too. So I'm gonna look into that maybe too.
Can't wait for the new Pfizer pill to pop every day.
Oh yeah,
great.
like just yeah. I'm looking for
I
more
love
pills.
Pfizer.
Yeah, supplements, right? Just health supplements.
Yeah, Pfizer loves us. They care about us.
Mm-hmm. I'll take them with my like lavender aromatherapy supplements too, and I think that'll be a really good morning routine to just sort of rise and grind, baby.
So now the next award, which I think is some people that it's a group that I think could escape recognition easily. So I think that it's important that we bring this to everyone's attention to celebrate it. The Funding Inclusive Education Award goes to the Farah Foundation. Can you tell us about the Farah Foundation and what they do?
Yes. Well, I don't know too much, so I don't know exactly like what extent of progressivism is involved. So I don't want to like give my wholehearted support or anything, but because they fund a lot of things, but they have definitely funded Ancient Faith Radio, which is great. They're supporting the mission there. They also funded the Huffington Ecumenical Institute at Loyola, which that's great. You know, they funded some conferences, more dialogue, and so there was some dialogue going on, ecumenical dialogue. Those are like some of my favorite things. So that was very good on them. And they also fund the Fordham University Orthodox Christian Studies program, which, if you know anything about Fordham, you know that they really are doing a lot of great dialoguing and a lot of great research into just these sort of gender issues and how we could maybe take a new look, a fresh, modern look at like gender in the church and like maybe like, are genders real? Like, are we gonna expand the sort of spectrum? Because I think we're all a little bit spectrumy, if you know what I'm saying. I think that we could really expand that spectrum, and there's so many years between like now and the apostles that maybe things just got a little bit like lost in translation, and they were actually like super pro LGBTQIA plus. I mean, we don't know, and who's to say they weren't, right? You know, only people with like a far right political agenda would really try to make a point like that. So yeah, I want to thank them for funding a lot of great things and just providing financial support to those in need, like Fordham University.
Okay. Why don't we talk about why don't we now Ray and Wigloff, this is not embarrassing, okay? You guys are just literal Nazis, okay? Get off the stream. Get off the stream. Go back
What's
to
a
your little
gamer
go back
word?
to your I don't know. What's a gamer word? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. What kind of
I don't
words
know.
do
Can
gamers have a
somebody
certain word that they like to say? Do they
maybe
call
somebody
people?
can maybe
I hope it's
somebody
not
can
something bad.
call in and tell us what the gamer word is later.
Oh,
So
I don't know if I want to know that. I don't think after like Gamergate and all the harassment of like women gamers and women game developers, and there was a lot of really problematic things that happened around the time of Gamergate. So I really kind of think that most gamers are sus to use that kind of, Among Us terminology, which is, I mean, I do like Among Us. It's a pretty good game. And generally it's safe. So, I mean, sometimes people say things that are kind of inappropriate, but and most of them are children, so
Okay, so just to be clear, Farah Foundation donates to Ancient Faith Radio and
Mhm.
the Fordham Foundation, correct?
Yes, they do. They
Now,
do. They are sort of
why could you
and they've
infer it?
funded both quite a fair bit, I think.
Why
Um,
so what exactly? Maybe we can infer from Fordham what they since they obviously see a correlation between the two groups there.
well, I mean, I from this lecture series title, you can kind of get a sense maybe of liturgical humanism, orthodoxy, and the transformation of culture. Um, I don't know exactly what that's about, but I mean, I can kind of guess that sounds kind of good. I mean, um, how we can enrich, everyone, non-Orthodox communities. That sounds really good. Yeah, just I think, yeah, enriching. That sounds enriching. And transforming culture, I think, is a big important one. And not, I mean, I think some people get this idea that the church has to like transform the culture around it, but I think that's kind of just a misunderstanding that really the culture should transform the church. That we need to be dialoguing and part of the community, because there's a lot of underrepresented communities that the church has sometimes been kind of ethnocentric with like Greek and Russian, and I think that we need to be like one world, maybe like one world religion would be kind of cool if we could dialogue that way. That would be nice.
Um,
Fordham has a lot of just a lot of books, and I saw some really great lectures from them. Let me see if I can find it in my very lengthy notes here.
Now let me know when you want me to present the award for excellence in depopulation, because I think that's a Fordham thing too, right?
Um, was that Fordham?
It was Bloomberg, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Michael Bloomberg. Yes. We can talk about him in just a minute, but
Okay.
I saw some really great things from some books. There was one called Anarchy and the Kingdom of God that described itself as reclaiming the concept of anarchism as both a political philosophy and a way of thinking of the socio-political sphere from a theological perspective. And I'm a proud Antifa, so I think that's great. I think anarchy is can be really. It just needs to be understood properly, and so we just need to rethink how we're thinking about it. There's another one called "Towards an Ecology of Transfiguration," which is a cool title, and it's about climate change. And that's nice. I like that. It's the most important issue, really, we have to deal with, because if we don't save the Earth in like I think it's either 3 or 12 years or maybe 20 years, then basically we're all going to die. So that's pretty important. Um, we have here Dr. Benjamin Dunning was an assistant professor of theology at Fordham, and also the Harvard School of Divinity. He was actually the first man to win a research fellowship in the women's studies department. So he's actually sort of like diversifying women's studies, ironically. But that was the first man ever. So he's not very toxic. Um, he worked on a book called Spectres of Paul, talking about St. Paul, that is. Sexual Difference, Creation, and Resurrection in Early Christian Thought. And he was a quotation from the Women's Studies in Religion program said that his work represents the cutting edge of that of a new generation of scholars for whom feminist theory is foundational to religious studies. That is the director of Women's Studies. um, Yeah, his project examines the ways in which second and third century Christians theologize what sexual difference means, particularly in relation to bodies, culture, and desire. So, like, it's kind of like trans inclusive, I think. According to Dunning, the Apostle Paul's theology of creation and resurrection widely shaped and constrained early Christian thinkers on the subject of the body and how it was conceptualized. I don't know what that means. But he sounds like a very cool guy with a lot of really intellectual ideas about gender, and he has a couple books on it. So I think everyone should read up and educate yourself. I certainly, it's not my job to educate you. It's not even my job to be educated in the first place. So
it's good to know that people like this are involved with the funding. That the same people funding these guys are also funding Ancient Faith Radio. It's really heartening to know.
Yeah, and I mean there may be more, but but that's just what's public. I hope that there's a lot more progressive funding going on in these sorts of circles, because that means that it just sort of encourages the content producers to like understand who's paying the bills, right? And and follow suit with that. So I think that's important.
It's true. It's true.
We all sometimes have
Very.
to be humble and do what we're told.
Yeah, I'm glad that Father Andrew Stephen Damick understands that. Really,
He does. He does.
I really am, because what would he do without Michael Bloomberg money? This is a good time to present the Excellence in Depopulation Award to Michael Bloomberg. Why don't you tell us
Michael
about Michael
Bloomberg. Yes. He is, we all know him. He was the mayor of New York City, and he's a billionaire, which is, good for him, rise and grind. And he is firmly pro-choice, pro same-sex marriage and LGBT issues. He also had this really cool program to actually get Plan B contraceptives to girls as young as 14 in the New York City public schools, which is great because you never know when something's going to happen, and women need to have control of their bodies, at 14. So government funded abortifacient contraceptives are like pretty, I think, pretty radical and a really good idea. So yeah, he's clearly playing his role in making sure that we don't have too many more little carbon footprints running around, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well,
he funds Fordham, to be clear. He does not have anything to do with Ancient Faith Radio, but he does help sponsor Fordham University, which puts out a lot of really great content. And I think there's a sort of meeting of the minds with some of these people sometimes. So, just one of their generous donors. They have many.
And we also have an award called "He's a Banker" for E. Gerald Court.
Yeah, he's a banker.
He's a banker.
He's a banker. He was one of the vice president of or the former president of the New York Federal Reserve, I think it was. Yeah, so he's like a government kind of banker, and also a private sector guy. He makes a lot of money. He likes to fund Fordham, which is great. We need more billionaires on the right side of history, I think. So.
And we love bankers because we know who our bosses are.
Yeah, I mean, if you pay the bills, like you won, right?
Ray says the bankers are usually Muslim, right? Hey. No
I
joke
think this one's actually like Italian, so
Yeah.
I don't think he's Arabic at all. He might be a pizza American. Oops. That's a little racist.
Hey, Krabby 1984. This is not a parody, okay? We are super sincere with our. Okay, this is no parody.
What are you talking about? Parody?
No parody here.
Michael spent a lot of money to get me to come on his show. Like, I could be Twitch streaming for like a lot of high quality fans right now. So I'm very in demand, and but I'm passionate about spreading the truth about social justice. So taking a night off from gaming, and avoiding the toxic men online, to talk with a non-toxic man. So that's cool.
Yeah. Now, come on, guys, send super chats. Support the efforts to advance the progressive cause tonight. Okay. Hey,
I think we should change women's rights to women's lefts.
That's true. Hey, Radix Virum says that you could be on OnlyFans right now. Well, we certainly support our sex workers.
Yeah. I mean, how do you know I'm not? Sometimes I set up a camera down there and like multitask.
So who are our other, I know that you did a lot of research. Who are some of our other honorary donors for Fordham University, especially the program for Orthodox Studies?
Let me just pull up my notes a little bit here, and hold on. I'm gonna turn off my screen.
By the way, are you related to Valsh by chance? Somebody in the chat wants to know.
Valsh? No, I don't think so. Is he? I'm Armenian. I'm just kidding. I'm not Armenian. I'm from Oklahoma. Oh yeah, there was this really great paper I found.
Good news. We have diversity in the chat. We have Ebony. Thank you for being a.
I love women of color.
We love Black people,
but I don't ever ask to touch their hair because that is not cool. It's very problematic. So I found this great document, this report from called Eastern Orthodoxy and Sexual Diversity, Bridging Voices Consortium. This was published with Fordham and Exeter, and it was funded by the British Council and the Henry Luce Foundation. And they were really cool, like right up front. They just totally stuck it to the alt-right, and they said that priests are basically scared to talk about how woke they are because they don't want their parish to think that like they have some kind of liberal agenda going on. They put liberal agenda in quotations, which I think is great because I mean, obviously, like there isn't one, and we all know that, and but some people think there is. And then they have project goals is the next section, and they lay out their goals, their agenda, and it says that they seek to enable a sustained, complex, and respectful conversation about the challenges of pluralism and in general, and sexual diversity specifically to Eastern Orthodox identity in a secular age. So, kind of like get with the times. We're a secular world now. They explore themes of religion and identity, diversity, human rights, and social justice in regard to the identity of the Eastern Orthodox Church, as it faces the challenges of increasingly pluralistic societies, in particular sexual diversity, which I guess some people are afraid of, but I don't know why. They want to get the church to recognize the existence, legal acknowledgement, and inclusion of LGBTQ plus individual in traditional Orthodox communities at home and abroad. So that's their goals. And yeah, there is no agenda there. Just some goals, just some cool goals. And they also want to question the extent to which the Orthodox Church seeks and requires the conformity of secular power to its own moral system. So basically that means, they want to make sure that the church isn't getting its nose into politics, which, is really a secular space. And, they don't want the church to be sort of telling society what to do, because obviously like that would be wrong. And we have separation of church and state, and really the state should decide what the church does and not the other way around. I think that's basically, they don't want like these traditional values, as I say, getting in the way, and they're investigating the potency and appropriateness of the language of universal human rights in Orthodox settings. So I guess that's one to, they're sort of running that one in beta right now. So, if you hear about universal human rights, that's them, that's their research. They're researching into your communities. So get ready. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So I think it's really cool.
That's great.
Yeah. And some of them actually work for the ecumenical patriarchate. So they're not like these aren't just like any old, these aren't like outsiders or something. These are actually people within the church who are doing this under the ecumenical patriarch. So who's like sort of the green pope.
Orthodox Prometheus got his fourth booster shot. So wow.
That's great. Wow. That's great. I'm still only on number 3, but I hope maybe I'll be at 4, maybe 5, maybe 6. The 6 is a nice even number, right? It's a good number.
This is
traditional values is a dog whistle term. I couldn't agree more. I think that traditional values is there's nothing traditional about hate, right? I mean, we're not supposed to be hateful. I'm pretty sure it says that in the Bible that don't hate, right? It's one of the 10 commandments.
Ray says we might have somebody's got a crush on you.
Some really pretty. Well, thanks. I mean, you can like DM me later. Maybe you can join my OnlyFans, but I don't know if you can afford it. You look kind of poor. Sorry.
Pano just got here. Well, leave your bigotry at home, Pano. Okay.
Yeah, I like that he has a sort of ethnic sounding name. That's really I like people of color. So just make sure that you're one of the good ethnicities, right? We don't want to be problematic.
Pano says, "Bring me up to speed now." So you want to rehash everything that we've, just give a quick
No, I don't want to rehash it all. You can go back and watch it later. We're doing an awards ceremony for social justice activists in the church, okay? And it's really good, and it's not my job to educate you. I've already spent too much time talking for free here. So basically, we're just giving out awards to everyone who's really woke and pushing and not pushing anything. I mean, who doesn't have an agenda. People who are just doing the right thing in the church to make sure that it's a safe space, because we want to be inclusive we want to have a proper understanding of gender and sexual diversity and things like that. So
Yeah. And finally, you came just in time, Pano, because we know that you're Greek and we love the Greek church. It's definitely the shining beacon of orthodoxy right now. So
yes,
we're glad that you're here. And it really is a good segue into our final award, which is actually going to our ecumenical patriarch for loyalty to the U.S. intelligence services. Why don't you tell us
yeah,
all about that?
absolutely. The ecumenical patriarchate has had a really great and close relationship with U.S. intelligence services since the 1940s, since World War II, and his predecessor, Archbishop, Patriarch Athenagoras, when he was still Archbishop, um, he told the OSS, which later branched out into the CIA eventually. He told them that basically they were on standby for whatever they wanted. And I'm trying to find the quote here. If I can get this. Okay, yes. He said this was declassified. He said these really great words to his favorite OSS agent who is working for the United States. He says he has 3 bishops. I'll quote him directly. I have 3 bishops, 300 priests, and a large and far-flung organization. Everyone under my order is under yours. This is the Archbishop to the CIA. You may command them for any service you require. There will be no questions asked, and your directions will be executed faithfully. Please tell Mr. Burns for me that this is so. He also then tried to join the army, but he was 56 and they rejected him. So tough luck there. But he said, I am ready, though, to submit myself to any duty and to make every possible sacrifice for our beloved country. That's Archbishop Athenagoras, who's, he says our country, referring to the United States, even though he's not American, but he was talking to U.S. intelligence when he said that. So he was a close friend of a lot of high up people in the United States, and he was clearly a faithful servant to them, and I think that relationship has continued. His predecessor was Maximus V, and he was kind of a little too sympathetic to the Soviets, and so they just got rid of him. They said he was insane and he was not allowed to perform the divine services, and they just kind of shut him away for not really being with the times, and they put in someone. Athenagoras, who they knew was a really good kind of person to work with on these sort of diplomatic things between the United States and the ecumenical patriarch. So, and I think Bartholomew has really shown us that he can do the job just as well, if not better. So, he has a lot of good friends in high positions of power, and so it's really good.
Wow,
I want to be clear, though.
we have a
Oh,
hateful person in the chat.
oh no, oh
That's
no.
that's Bibble,
It's
libel,
Bible. Don't
lib,
mind
mibble.
me
Did
just
they?
proving your side to be the liars that you are. God hates you. See you later. What
Wow,
are you? Okay.
what a hateful
Yeah.
bigot. What a
I
hateful
don't
bigot.
know. I don't know what you're on about there, buddy, but um yeah. Sorry. Everyone has a different opinion. Some people are just more right than others. Some people are more equal than others.
True.
Um
True. Now,
yeah.
is there any indication that ecumenical patriarch Bartholomew has reneged on this spirit on the precedent set by his predecessor?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's done anything to um, try to distance himself from his ties with the CIA or anything. And I don't know why he would. If you have a good relationship going, just keep it going. So no, but I think there's a lot of conspiracy theories that think like, oh, the CIA is like doing this or doing that, and I mean they're the intelligence agency, the Central Intelligence Agency. They just want to make people smarter. So I don't think there's and besides, the United States wouldn't do anything wrong, and the CIA wouldn't do anything wrong. I mean, like they would get in big trouble with the government and stuff if they did. So, I don't know what some people think. Just a lot of conspiracy theorists out there, and it's wrong. It's very wrong. We need to put those people in a well, maybe a school. We'll start with a school, a re-education school.
It's true. Now, now we're going to open up for calls. If you're
Okay.
ready to take some calls. So the number is in the chat. I mean, we dropped a link in the chat group. So if anybody wants to hop on, we
Yeah.
did get one super chat. Brother Brovet says, please say we'll see you two fine young SJWs again soon. Why, thank you, Brother Brovet, for the $5. You're making
Maybe.
helping us advance the
Yeah. If you
progressive
give me
agenda.
enough money, I can take some time off of OnlyFans. So.
Oh. Yeah. So yeah, if anybody wants to hop in. We wouldn't mind talking to Pano, Hop in. Optimus left a message and it was deleted immediately. So must be a
Wow.
bigot.
Okay.
Must be a bigot.
Yeah. I'd love to take some callers. I know that well, I assume that this audience is very respectful and good. So yeah, I would love to hear what people's thoughts are and how we can integrate more diversity into these ecclesiastical matters and
Yeah.
get away from some of the anti-intellectualism of some of the far right neo-Nazi stuff going on there. It's bad.
Oh, snap. Looks like looks like somebody said check my Cash App. We must have a very progressive person here. Why,
Put your
thank
money
you.
where your mouth is, baby.
Thank you. And it's from a Hispanic guy, Jose. So very
Oh.
thank you, Jose. We love our Latinx friends. Okay.
Yeah, Latinx. That was.
So yeah, we
I just went down to like a food truck the other day, and it was run by some Latinx people, and that was really good. Had some good tacos. So, why would it be called Central Intelligence Agency if they weren't central to making everyone more intelligent, anyways? Conspiracy jerks are like so crazy. You're totally right. You're spot on. You definitely have a degree in something very smart. So, yeah. I mean, you don't just name something it's not. Like, if you're the Central Intelligence Agency, you're trying to centralize intelligence for everyone, make everyone smarter.
It's true.
It's like, when people say they're anti-fascist, it's like, that means what it means. And you can't be problematic when you're standing up for something so righteous. So it's just like, get on board, guys. It's 2021.
Here's a good question from Ray. Do you two believe in IQ? Only if only if it's in relation to transhumanist studies to study how to basically upload our consciousness into a machine for the next level of progress. So
get that patch going, right?
All right. Radix Virum says, lost another button. Who is donating to his OnlyFans? Well, you should send a super chat in, Radix, okay?
Yeah, I've been trying to get Michael on OnlyFans because it's really empowering, and anyone can be self-employed. Just make sure you pay your taxes, otherwise hateful people will try to audit you.
Glad to have you here, Queen. Glad to have you. Oh, looks like we got wait, is that an actual super chat?
Wow.
Or is that's not even a real super chat. He's just typing in 99.
Just typing in a dollar. I don't think it works that way. Yeah. But nice try.
Wow. So to pretty much sum up, let me know if I got this right. So I'm just
Yeah.
going to summarize everything that we learned today. Diego says this is demonic. Hey, this is not demonic. Okay, we are progressives. We are.
No one's mocking anyone.
Yeah, we're just loving. So
we're just talking about real things that are real good.
Exactly. So we learned that Ancient Faith Radio, they have Charlotte Riggle, who promotes homosexuality among children with her books, and she's still associated with Ancient Faith Radio, and that's a great thing, right? We also learned Miriam Yusuf, who is a Monophysite, and we love Monophysites, and I don't know if I should really use that term.
No, but that's not very ecumenical, Michael.
Yeah, but she basically what does she advocate for?
She is a social.
She was talking about microaggressions, right?
Yeah, microaggressions. Microaggressions.
All
which
right.
is obviously a problematic thing. And she has a social justice podcast too, which also like very important work. So
Yeah, and we also learned about Hannah Gates and Sarah Riccardi Swartz and their important
excellent
work
journalism.
for exposing, you know, really sowing the seeds of division that need to be sowed between the
Yeah,
ecumenical patriarch and the
calling
Russian
out
church.
bigots. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's really a great strategy for just trying to destroy the Russian church, and hopefully it works.
yeah. I mean, if that's
Yeah.
what it comes to, you either change or you fade away with the times, right?
Yeah, and we also learned that Father Andrew Stephen Damick is great at public relations and totally handled
Yes,
he did the right thing with Abbot Trifon
he does.
and definitely don't go buy uh, coffee from Abbot Trifon's monastery at store.vashonmonks.com. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
If you do it, you're a bigot. And also, we also found out that Farah Foundation donates both to Ancient Faith Radio and the Fordham Foundation,
Fordham
correct?
University.
Fordham
Yes,
University,
Fordham University, which
and
publishes a lot of great books on gender differences within the church and sort of opening up dialogues there. And they have a wide catalog of classes and degree programs and a lot of books on just how to dialogue properly and change things, how to progress.
that's great. And it's
They're a
also
Jesuit school too, which the Jesuits have been doing great things for a long time. I mean, they kind of were problematic back in the day, but I think they've been doing good things since. They're trying to change, so that's good.
I'm really gonna sleep better at night knowing that people like Michael Bloomberg are involved with you know funding studies into orthodoxy and how to how to really get us beyond our ancient bigotry and
Hmm.
how we can embrace modern norms. So that's always
Exactly.
a good thing. And then finally, probably the most the biggest white pill of them all. Can we say words like that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
I don't think so. I
is the
don't talk about pills.
okay?
That's a
So,
yeah.
so the really
Yeah.
encouraging thing is the commitment that the ecumenical patriarch has had in the past and probably still has to the CIA, and we know this because of declassified documents. So,
Hmm. It was just a working relationship. It was just a mutual benefit for everyone. So
yeah. And why is nobody calling in? You would think everyone would want to call into this.
well,
It's a
you
safe
know,
space. We're going to be very nice to you.
times are changing.
So,
Sometimes people are, who knows what kind of trauma they might have to deal with right now.
yeah, we want Pano, just like Radix says Pano. Pano. So we want Pano.
No. Yes.
Pano. 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 Yeah, we need Pano.
Yes. Yeah. Um. Let's see. I have a lot of notes we can look
Sarah
through a
from
little bit.
transfluidism. What is transfluidism?
Transfluid pillism. That sounds, I don't
Transfluidism.
know, but that sounds awesome.
Sounds like some sort of right wing joke, actually.
Oh, I hate those. I
Oh.
have such a hard time like figuring out sometimes when people are just like, making a joke and like I take things very seriously and like I don't have time for these silly games. And so, I want people to be, honest about these things and just
no
tell me if
one's
they're far right.
no one's calling in because we don't want to be in Sarah's next hit piece. By the way, you don't have to have your camera on when you call. But why
It's
would you
true.
not want to be part of such a celebration? We're celebrating.
What? Yeah, we're celebrating Sarah, and so I don't see how she could like hit piece. I don't know what you're talking about. We're friends.
We
Yeah,
glossed the
she's doing good work.
Gronlander. That's in my walls
My
are paper
vaxxed roommate
thin.
can hear me. Haha.
That's a
Yeah,
pitiful
well,
excuse.
don't
Pitiful
spread COVID
excuse.
over there, okay? Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really bigoted thing to do.
But you can spread HIV. That's loving.
Well, in California, it's illegal to actually, well, it's legal to not disclose, which is a good move because we don't want to create like two societies, like where like people with HIV are like the other. We want to be just like one American people. So it's a good thing you don't have to disclose your HIV status. Um, Nobody should be forced to disclose like medical status, um, except whether or not they have the vaccine. That's important because those people, I mean, that these anti-vaxxers really are a threat to society, and they should be kept out of public life as much as possible for everyone's good. Um, but to treat people with HIV like that is just that's backwards, and that's really dumb.
Oh man, I guess sounds like it looks like we got a rogue mod. Hey, Radio Musician's been timed out, and so has Don J1. Wow. I don't know what they've been
Oh,
saying, so I don't know. I don't know.
oh
But
yeah. Well, we have
I
a
guess
big team of strong people keeping bigots out.
but anyways, you said that you have more notes, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to see what's really good here. Yeah, I really like the work of Dr. Benjamin Dunning. I think he's just fantastic. And I'm not sure if he's Orthodox, but like he totally should be. Because he has a lot of great things to say about gender and writes all these good books. You know, he is trained in critical and feminist theory, so you know he's on the right side of history. Um, he's really interested in furthering the conversation between the history of Christianity, philosophical theology, and contemporary theories regarding, gender. He is the co-founding chair of the Sex, Gender, and Sexuality in Pre-Modern Christianity Consultation in the American Academy of Religion. Well, I didn't even know the American Academy of Religion had a Sex, Gender, and Sexuality in Pre-Modern Christianity Consultation. What is this? I hope this isn't some kind of troll. Do you want to talk about microaggressions? Like, we can have a dialogue. But like, I'm not gonna. I wish I spoke more ethnic languages. I'm sure what he's saying is really important, and I hear you, and your opinion is valid. Okay, I validate your experience. So. He sounds very passionate about whatever. I don't know. It reminds me of when I go to like one of these restaurants with all the diverse food, and they're just like screaming in the kitchen, calling out orders and stuff. It's fun.
Oh, jeez. It's very ethnic sounding. That's good for our
Yeah,
diversity.
it is. Here's the mission statement of the Fordham Orthodox Christian Studies Center. They say the center's mission is to foster intellectual inquiry by supporting scholarship and teaching in a way that is relevant to the ecclesial community, public discourse, and the promotion of Christian unity. So that's good. They're they're ecumenical. They support public discourse, which you could also call like dialogue, like orthodoxy and public orthodoxy and orthodoxy and dialogue. There was one of the founding the co-founders of the Fordham School is actually writes for Orthodoxy and Dialogue, which is a great blog, and they have a lot of cool things to say. So good on him.
Yeah, and shame on a certain priest in California that's suing him. That's a real shame. Shame.
Yeah, that's terrible. I can't believe.
It's just a poor college student.
Why would a priest sue someone? Well, he actually runs the department, so he's not really a college student, but
No. Well, Giacomo, I'm talking about Giacomo.
Oh, Giacomo, yeah. No, that's not who runs Fordham. Let me see. Ooh, what are they up to?
Woohoo!
Oh, see right here. British Council awards grant to Orthodox Christian Studies Center for LGBTQ Research. This is right here on the Fordham page. That's great. Yeah. Okay. And Orthodox Christian Center secures Luce funds to promote human rights. So this Henry Luce Foundation is a big funder of Fordham, and they're all on board. So they're really good people at the Henry Luce Foundation. And I think it's important to separate, to make sure that people don't think that kind of money is really changing what they're writing about. They're just getting donors who support the cause.
That's true. And I think David here makes a good point. Sarah had a fellowship through Fordham.
Oh, well, congratulations. That was I'm sure it was very enriching.
We love Sarah. We love Sarah.
Yes. I think
although Sarah, I think, had a slip up, and she did make one bigoted statement recently.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if
pull that up.
Find it. Let's see.
Pull that up, Jamie.
I have it quoted right here.
I
got it right here.
Can you read that for the audience?
She must have been drunk or something, but she says, monarchy, God's providential ordering of society, a way to imbue our social structure with the values of Christianity and the divine sanctity of the family from the top down. She said this. She must have been drunk.
Wow. That sounds very alt-right. I'm surprised she would say something like that. That's
I'm sure that's not out of context at all.
No. No. Why would that? Why would nobody quotes people out of context? I mean, that's such a misnomer. Like when the news is like clipping up, like a little bit here and there, and just like putting a little quotation here in the article. I mean, it's not pulling it out of context. Like they're giving you the context. That's what they said. That's just you're just only getting a part of the context. That's fine. Here's they are welcoming 5 new fellows at the Orthodox Christian Studies Center at Fordham. You want to learn about them? We have Michelle Watkins, Dr. Michelle Watkins, is halfway finished with her book, tentatively titled Deification of the Desacralized: Critical Correlations Among Womanist and Orthodox Theologies.
Womanist. We love women.
Her project explores the way Black women affirm their spiritual maturation and consider what it means to be one with God while in flesh in estranged bodies. Okay.
Are you into Asians, Celestia?
Well, I'm into all races. I don't discriminate. If you're talking about, who's allowed to join my OnlyFans, yeah, it's anyone. I wouldn't say I'm like particularly into Asians, no offense, but like, I mean, they're cool. Like, if they have money. Womanist theology. I really like that. I mean, there's a lot of talk about, feminist theology, and I think that's fantastic, but we can always use more words, more terms. It's good.
That's true. That's very true.
Michael Azar is working on a project titled Reframing Christian-Jewish Relations in Light of Orthodox Christianity in the Holy Land. Sounds very good. I mean, that sounds very nice. Yeah, these other guys are like white men, and I don't know if, I really don't know if it's appropriate to talk about white men and give them a platform.
That's true. We should be talking less about white men.
Yeah. Oh, Public Orthodoxy is a public-facing initiative of the Orthodox Christian Studies Center and is designed as an editorial forum for scholars to comment on issues of contemporary concern in a manner more suited for a broad, non-academic audience. So yeah, just like, kind of like the normal,
we have
proletarians.
We have a caller.
Oh, who's this?
Nero Wolf. Well, hello, Nero Wolf. Welcome to our safe space.
You're getting some echo there.
Broadcast.
What?
You might want to turn the volume down on your computer.
Yeah, you're having some echo issues.
Turn the stream off. You have the stream on.
Okay.
Yeah, turn
off. How do I turn it off? Just
Just like mute if you have the stream up on your computer, mute it. If you have it on YouTube in the YouTube tab.
So it's probably going.
Well, you don't mute the the StreamYard part.
Having
Just
little technical problems there.
Nero must, it's okay. It's all right. We all have learning curves,
Nero
right?
was, he was a Roman emperor who really persecuted Christians. So I guess
Am
that's.
I echoing or?
Oh, we got you.
I think it's okay now. I can hear.
Welcome to the show, Nero. Welcome. Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, great call. Thank you. Maybe you'll call back in. Yeah. Well, yeah. Public Orthodoxy, I think, is a great website, and they've been around since 2015. So, they know a lot of things, and it's important that we all listen to academics who know a lot more than normal people.
That's very true. Very true. We love our academics.
Trust the research.
We also love our doctors. We
Yes.
trust all of our doctors and our,
Yeah.
So,
and
Nero Wolf is back. Nero Wolf is back. So back again. Hello, Nero Wolf. Well, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Most gratifying. Yeah, it's incredible that I guess it's the eternal struggle that that the bad people will seize power and try to rule over, but they'll lose in the end. So I'm glad you're there.
That's why, we're fighting against the alt-right so that we don't have them insurrection the economy again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Nero, do you love Israel? We love Israel. We just want to affirm that you love Israel.
I'm really kind of torn on that issue because of all the things with the Palestinians, and I don't know. I think there needs to be more dialogue there, really.
That's true.
I wouldn't want to be against Israel. That's bad. But you want to be pro-Palestine and like pro-Israel? I don't know.
Is that possible?
Sure.
I think they should all just be allowed to kill each other. And whoever wins, we negotiate.
Very bigoted, Nero. Very, very bigoted, Nero.
Yeah. Well, actually, just like this last weekend in Chicago, they declined to prosecute a case because they decided it was mutual combat. It was a gang-related shooting, and so apparently, as long as both parties are willing to have a shootout in the streets, that's cool in Chicago. So maybe that's the way forward. That way we don't put like people in jail for crimes they did commit.
Unless it's an insurrection challenging the state.
Oh yeah, no. That's the insurrectionists should all be like hunted down and put in jail for even if they didn't do anything, because they all did something evil in their hearts. And that's a crime.
It's all designed. It's just like if you study the Soviet takeover, they let all these kind of people. They were 100% pro LGBTQ. They let the criminals out of the prisons, and then once they totally destroyed society and culture that existed before them, then they came in with total power and got rid of all those people. And they told the LGBTQ people that if you're not going to reproduce children for the state, you're going to a gulag.
Oh, wow, that's problematic. Yeah, I mean, I think they might have been on the right path, but sometimes they get a little confused.
Actually, they became more repressive than Western democracies.
Oh well,
that's
communism has never really been tried.
If I live long enough, I'll see their change in tactics, and all those people will have been their useful idiots.
I think we just need to, we need to study Marxism harder so that, we can really get a better kind of communism moving forward, and not repeat some of those homophobic mistakes in the next era of communism.
Well, I'm baffled why they support China. That they've even made announcements they're not going to allow feminine men, and they're deleting scenes from Western movies that show any LGBTQ stuff.
Well, yeah, but China is a diverse and beautiful culture, and we can't just go around imposing, our Western colonialist standards. Uh, the viewers are really adamant. Mr. Nero, sorry, I shouldn't say Mr. What are your preferred pronouns? Because we never asked.
Your Highness and Your Majesty.
Okay, I feel like you might be mocking the LGBTQ2SPP community.
Yeah. All right, sirs, but thank you for having the show, and bless you. God
It's a
bless
pleasure. Yes.
you. The
God bless you
original
too.
and real God.
Yes.
That's
That
kind of
was
getting
enlightening.
fashy vibes, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
white men are often problematic whether they realize it or not. They just sometimes things happen,
My mask just flew off my face. What was that? What's up with that?
Oh, well, be careful. I don't want to get COVID.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
Yeah.
to give you COVID, bro.
Yeah.
Internalized COVID. Imagine that.
Yeah, I think it's really the biggest struggle, and I think we need to do everything we can as a government to just make sure that COVID is taken seriously, and so businesses that aren't willing to comply should be shut down, and schools need to be shut down permanently with paid leave for the teachers. Have you followed at all what's going on in Loudoun County with the domestic terrorists trying to, teach their children hate facts?
I did, and I thought it was a good move by the Department of Homeland Security to really put the alert out
Absolutely. Just
on that terror threat.
nip it in the bud,
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, I think the idea of parents telling educators what to do when it comes to teaching their children important things like critical race theory and feminist theory and really queering the next generation. I think it's important that those parents are silenced because, the children are the future, and, those who control the children control the future.
Mulatto Man, a Doorman 360 says this sounds like a genuine AFR episode. Well done. Well, we're hoping they
Thank
get a
you.
contract. We're hoping they get a contract.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
hoping they sign us after this.
I
After
mean, they do a lot of great work. So, that's a deep compliment. Thank you very
which,
much.
by the way, Doorman 360, we'd love to have you call. We know that you are a very progressive and a
Good.
enlightened man. So
Yeah, as hard as it is for men to be enlightened, white men have to work like 300 times harder than anyone else. Some people just don't really have to try to be woke, In fact, they can even have the wrong opinions. That's okay because, they're already part of an oppressed group. But
wow, we have Father Damick in the chat says you've made me so proud. Well, that's all we ever really
thank
wanted to
you.
do was make Father Andrew
We
proud
we
today.
love you, Father Andrew, and really support all the great work. So keep it up.
He's so glad that we have become so ortho woke. Well, you know what?
Just trying our best. Yeah.
Really great, really thankful to the vaccine. So
there's like something changing in the climate.
So yeah.
Something in the water.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Looks like Doorman might be calling in soon, but what else do you have in your notes in the meantime? Any other interesting facts?
Well, let's see. I mean, I don't know. Fordham is really just a really a gold mine of great things. One of the other the chairman of Fordham too was a previous VP of Thomson Reuters Corporation, who on their website talks a lot about advancing human rights and providing free legal support and impactful training, training journalists and research organizations and funding them, legal support and research for NGOs. So, and they're very interested in LGBT rights around the world, like especially I think the developing world. So it's really great to see them funding that kind of work in those spaces. So just only the best for our NGOs, right?
Do you righteous sisters think we should limit the fight to just same-sex marriage or couples, or we fight for marrying thruples too?
Thruples, yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that might be the future, because if two people can love each other, then why not 3 or 4? I mean, who knows? I mean, who are we to judge what a marriage is?
Definitely Father Damick, okay? Definitely.
Yes, it's the real Father Damick. He loves the show. He really likes the direction. Unicorn, rainbow, and a Star of David. Well, I love that. I mean,
would we even have homosexuality if it wasn't for them?
Oh, well, who knows? I mean, I think the Romans were into that kind of stuff, and the Greeks, and
but they got it from.
Well, that's a tough question for someone who knows a lot about history. Please block Jay Dyer on all social media platforms because he's such a meanie. Yes, I agree. I 100,000% agree that Jay Dyer, whose show I would never watch or listen to, is I've just heard that he's kind of alt-right. And it doesn't take much for me to block someone. So, if I hear that you're alt-right, sorry, sweetie, you're gone.
He's a misogynist too. He's a misogynist. Yeah. He's an incel.
He's an incel. Yeah, I heard he's married,
but he's still an incel.
Yeah, incels can marry too. Okay,
because with his male, he's obviously just raping her because of his male privilege. So,
well, yeah, but that word, it's like, can we not? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. There goes the YouTube channel. It's gone right there.
No, it's just a lot of trauma. It's shared collective trauma. I've never been a victim of that, but
it's true. It's very true. Very true.
Talking about things that are painful is just really harmful.
Celestia, why do you have such a hairy neck?
I was born that way. Women are all different. We come in very diverse bodies, and I appreciate that you like the look of it, so thank you. It's not a medical condition, it's just diversity.
It's just diversity.
Yeah.
Just diversity. All right, do we have any other? I think Doorman's calling, right? Where's Doorman at?
Where's Doorman? Where's Darman? I love his TikTok. Yeah. He saves children in India, and they're very much not staged TikToks about saving children.
Father Damick says, just for the record, I never called the bigot Jay an incel. Honest. Yeah, well, you shoulda. You shoulda.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, I think he is an incel, definitely. If he's like part of the alt-right and stuff, then he's just definitely an incel anyways.
This is a high compliment. We love NPR, don't we?
Yeah, NPR is like, the best radio in the world, pretty much. Doorman. Oh, he, him. Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Thank you for sharing your pronouns. I know it takes a lot of vulnerability.
I just saw all these brave, dedicated Orthodox fellows coming up and representing for the oppressed communities, and I just wanted to throw my support behind you guys. I think what you guys are doing is fantastic. These awards really show where Orthodoxy is lacking. I'm very happy to see that you are improving upon this 2,000-year-old tradition. And
I agree. Always room for improvement.
Of course.
It's a new day.
There's no other way to look about this thing. This constant evolution to the future must not stop, even if it is something as ancient as Christ's church. And I'm glad you guys recognize that. I was going through my St. Vladimir's calendar here, and just seeing if there's anything nice and progressive. We got a Chelsea Ewell who looks like a very progressive individual. I wonder if her image. There you go. You get closer. Yeah, you see that.
I love that haircut.
Of course, and the glasses.
She looks so good.
Of course. So whenever I see a nice modern progressive woman being promoted by a esteemed and a heavily Orthodox university such as St. Vladimir's, I'm just touched to my heart, and maybe I might one of these days I might be inspired by her, and I also might change my name to Chelsea, and I might go by she, her. But I haven't quite gotten to that stage yet of theosis, one might say.
Oh wow. Yeah. Woke theosis.
Of
Yeah,
course.
actually the same foundation that provides funding for AFR and Fordham also funds St. Vlad's. So fun fact.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm so
Yeah.
happy to hear that. I
And
wish all universities and seminaries would take the lead of St. Vlad's and AFR and go their direction to get rid of all the bigotry and hatred and discrimination.
oh, he says you're looking like a Hollywood diversity quota. That's cute. That's a nice compliment. Yeah.
It is very nice.
We can all use a little diversity.
Of course. We need more people to look different from each other in general, because that's very important. It's not about the inside that counts. It's what's on the outside that counts.
In fact, Doorman 360, I think you look like the ideal of all future Americans, with just mixed and brown.
Who knows what you are? And that's the fun part. It's like a guess. You're like Middle Eastern, Spanish. Who knows?
What's also fantastic is that I get lots of compliments asking if I'm Coptic, and I would just want to put out there that there's definitely no difference between the Orthodox Coptics and the proper Eastern Orthodox or Christians.
It was an error in translation. Please.
Of course, it's only 1600 years ago. People, please, it's the modern era. We need to move forward. There's nothing wrong with people of different belief systems going to our universities and being promoted and sharing the same worship and even partaking in the Eucharist. What are you, a bigot? Please.
It's possible that like the Greeks were just kind of racist and they were like the Copts were too brown for them, and so they just wanted to kind of Hellenize their church and keep it an ethno state.
Of course.
Absolutely. That's what happens. I mean,
it's good to hear that Go Arch is still keeping their people safe, by the way, blocking the icons off. I mean, it's just so heartening to hear.
I think there's been a lot of studies to show that venerating icons is one of the main transmissors of COVID-19.
I think that's the general sentiment. I trust in our hierarchs and our leaders that change the traditions to keep people safe, because that's the most important thing. It's safety and security. We can all worship.
What would Fauci do?
Oh, of course. I can't wait till he starts to become venerated nice and properly within the Orthodox Church. I can't wait for that to occur.
There are some icons of him, yeah.
Excuse me, Father Damick. No, Doorman 360 would never be as hateful as that guy that calls himself Brother Augustine. Okay.
Oh, Brother, yeah. Exercising is tied to the alt-right. Actually, you should be fat positive.
Yeah. Let me tell you, Brother Augustine is a raging anti-Semite. He claims to be of Jewish origin, but we know that he's really just
a lot of Jews are anti-Semitic. It's one of the, I wouldn't call it a Jewish trick. That would sound wrong, but it just so happens that a lot of Jews just express the wrong opinions, and they're not supposed to.
It has a label, by the way.
Only the right-wing ones.
It is internalized anti-Semitism. He has internalized anti-Semitism, and he has fallen for the right-wing deception of personal fitness and health.
Yeah, Vladimir Putin wants that.
Of course.
Vladimir Putin wants you to lift weights and be a bigot. Don't listen to it.
The pipeline is very insidious. People do not go to the gym, do not lift weights, do not exercise.
Don't fall down the rabbit hole of right-wing, posturing and like toxic masculinity, and just be yourself and be large and in charge, queen. Slay. Body positivity.
Oh man, I can't wait for my Pfizer tattoo.
I got my second Pfizer tattoo. The gene therapy is delicious and I love it. Yeah, I mean, hey, I wish I had a Pfizer tattoo, but it might have to cover up my cool yin yang. What sign are you guys?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh yeah, I'm a pescatarian.
I'm a Taurus.
You're a Taurus. Wow, that's kind of a toxic one, I think.
Oh,
Tauruses, they're a little too muscly. I mean, they're big, but it's not because they're fat and beautiful. It's because they're like really muscular, and that's threatening. If I ever go to the gym, I like to go to Planet Fitness where they don't discriminate. And if there's guys that come in, they're all like, ripped and like doing lots of steroids and stuff. They just, sorry, buddy, you're out. Like, come back when you can be a little less toxic and like put on a shirt.
That's true. Father Damick has a point here. We should definitely be out of shape and then get cool cassocks to hide it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, one size fits all. You know what I'm saying?
But we shouldn't hide it though, because we have body positivity. The more fat you show in your face, the better.
You know, there's this really cool lesbian bishop of the Episcopal Church who, or maybe she's a priestess, who knows? But anyway, she's clergy and she has like a priest shirt with the dog collar and sleeveless, so she can show off her tats. I love that. I wish more priestesses were lesbians with tattoos. It would make me feel safe.
I cannot wait for the oncoming new age where we will first get deaconesses back within the church, as we always should, which will eventually turn into real deacons and real priests and real bishops, female bishops. It's going to happen. It needs to.
Yeah, I mean the Episcopals do it. Why do we want to? We don't want them to beat us, right?
Of course.
If we're the true church, we should be better than at them, at everything, like including female bishops. Talk about reproductive rights. Oh, well, I'd love to. I mean, just the other day, we were having a big demonstration in support of women's reproductive freedoms, which, some people in the Orthodox Church still haven't accepted that, women, this is not like a Handmaid's Tale. I really love, it's more like Harry Potter, where we're fighting Voldemort, and Voldemort wants to take away women's rights, and we have to stop that. I think we have to abort more babies. For justice.
Yeah, I can't wait to conceive a child and offer that to Moloch as well. It needs to happen. It needs to be accepted with North.
Now listen.
It's pan-paganism.
The more babies that we can abort, the more we can bring of the equal amount, which I think 1.1 million is how many we abort. And then we bring in about 1.1 million legal immigrants that look kind of like Doorman 360. And that's a beautiful thing.
More food trucks for me, please. I don't want any little babies. I mean, the thing is, every time you have a child, it lessens our greenhouse gases. I mean, American babies in particular are one of the highest polluters. They just do a lot of things to pollute. The babies do. The amount of like poop they make is just obscene. Have you ever seen a baby? It's crazy. And they create like auditory pollution too by like crying and stuff. So I think we could just do with a few less babies and a few more immigrants.
Yes, we have to remember the writings of the church fathers that recommend that we must protect Mother Gaia, Big Mother Mammy Earth. So,
yes.
I haven't gotten the citations of those yet, of those writings, but I'll certainly share them in the comments section below when I have the opportunity.
Yeah, well, I think we need to think a lot about the, ecology and orthodoxy and how we can make it a green church.
We have to follow the lead of Pope Francis.
Yeah, and I will say Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew has been doing a great job with climate change. He was just at a summit the other day with Pope Francis and also Metropolitan Hilarion from Moscow. Yeah, he was there giving a pretty good speech on plurality and climate justice.
That's beautiful, and it's always a joy to hear that our hierarchs are going in the right direction and bringing us to church, giving us the issues that we really need.
Wow, that's true. There's some big news from Father Damick here. I'm so proud of you. That's great. We need more priests willing to do that.
There's certain problems with the Orthodox Church that will prevent someone from keep doing what they want with their body and maintaining their priesthood. But that is why I am a huge supporter of Origen. We need to follow his example. That particular OCA bishop that promotes him is doing God's work. He's definitely not a heretic. He's a saint, as that particular bishop says.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I call it SRS for progress. It rhymes. I heard there was like a dean of, I don't know if it was St. Vlad's back in the day, that had a big poster of Origen behind his desk. That's really cool, I think. It's a nice picture. He was a handsome man, not gonna lie. So, and his ideas, well, what can we say? He's just brought a lot of intellectual diversity to, which is important.
Pre-existence of sodomy. It's a great thing.
Yeah. Well, we could all use a little. Well,
I think
we'll
the idea of hell, eternal hell, and damnation is racist, sexist, misogynist, and Origen was a great innovator. And one of these days, he will get the recognition he deserves.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Sarah Riccardi Swartz was talking about how the idea of sin and moral purity is like one of those dog whistles of the alt-right that really attracts a lot of these young right-wing guys who want to just call people sinners, and it's just like the N-word basically, except this is the S-word. So I think we need to stop talking about sin in church and start talking about progress and dialogue. I ride my bicycle to my parish. We banned cars. We grow organic hemp in the parking lot. I love AFR. Well, you know what? See, that's just great to hear, and I'm glad that they don't allow motor vehicle traffic, because otherwise, we're killing minorities around the world with cars, basically. So, it's just sort of like an ethnic cleansing from Ford F-150s to who knows, people in Africa. So, more parishes should take that lead and go vegan.
Oh yes, veganism is on the rise. It's a very good thing. The monks had the right idea by having us abstain from all meats, dairy, and cheeses, because it's very, very bad for the animals. And we just need to follow that program all the way and do it
all the time,
24/7.
Yeah, I agree. Like, the fasting is a good start, but we should really all go vegan all the time. And plus, you can enjoy a lot of great things like Soylent and Impossible Whoppers, and it's just beyond meat. I think that stuff is great. I love it, and it tastes just like the real deal. So, like, why don't you stop being a bigot and eat the soy?
All the soy, it supercharges our endocrine system as men. It makes us extremely, extremely desirable and virile, but in a non-offensive way.
Oh,
not
okay.
like eating.
I was getting worried. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, have you tried like cricket protein? That way you can be like a vegan bodybuilder.
Of course, I'd said it's bugs and poo. That's the future of our nutrition, and that way we don't hurt Mommy Earth.
I think Bill Gates was talking about smelling the poop water the other day. He was they had a purification plant where he could get a little sample of it was recycled poop for water, and that's what we're going to give to the African people because we love them.
Yes,
charity,
giving back to Mommy Earth is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I think Bill Gates had the right idea every time he talked about depopulation because of climate change, and he supports that. He supports depopulating the earth, which is why he's working so hard to give out malaria shots in Africa, because
I hope
he wants to save lives.
I hope the ecumenical patriarchate will recognize what the great work that he's doing and has given him an award already.
I hope so. I think Bill Gates should be like an honorary bishop, like the Microsoft Support Center bishop.
He'll be my bishop, the bishop of transhumanism. I love it.
Yeah, he could take us all to a new reality. Father Damick makes delicious homemade soy shakes, 100% pure soy. We use soy additives in our parish water fountains. Well, good work. Keep it up. I mean, I love soy shakes. I go to Jamba Juice like every day and just get myself a big extra tall, turbo macchiato soy fruit turbo plastic. I love it. I get the green shake that's got the cricket protein in it, and it's got extra soy.
A lady needs her protein after all.
All right.
My beauty protein.
We have been, spreading this love and positivity for an hour and 45 minutes now.
It's a lot of positivity.
But I want to see if you gentlemen have any final words before we close the stream down.
I think there's a lot to unpack here, but I think we're gonna have to pack it up.
Yeah, I just want to remind people to, wear your masks, be considerate, get your vax. It's very important. If you have a heart attack, it's only because you care so much for your fellow neighbor. Your heart's too big. So it's just a sign of your concern. And I'm pretty sure that AFR Radio is very, very supportive of everyone getting their vax and wearing their masks and being safe.
I think you should, every morning in your daily devotions to social justice, I think you need to ask yourself, what am I doing to be anti-racist today? What am I doing to be a better ally to, gender and sexual minorities and racial and ethnic minorities? Like, whose food truck am I supporting today? Whose soy shake? There's a homeless guy on the street, buy him a soy macchiato. I mean, it's not that hard, people, but you need to be thinking about every day and devoting yourself to the cause of social justice and climate change, and just making sure to reduce your carbon footprint, because you will be judged in the end. There's a time coming when you will be judged for your carbon footprint and for how anti-racist you are. So, you don't have long, folks. Eat the bugs. Eat the bugs.
It's true. It's true. And next week I will have an episode about evolution, because we love evolution. So I'm going to be talking about how 100% evolution is compatible with orthodoxy. And I'm also going to be
was a Christian.
Totally. And I'm also going to be debating about America First. And now, obviously, I hate it. We know that it's a hateful movement of white supremacists. And so, but that's going to be happening next week. We'll put the schedule out. I think I'll be streaming Monday night, and then the debate will be on Thursday night at 9:30. So we will see you guys next week. And if you gentlemen want to stay in the room, we can have a chat afterwards.
Right.
But we'll see you guys. See all you bigots next week.
Yeah, viva la revolution.